Hey friends, Britt and I have been thinking a lot about families. We're here at the land celebration in Virginia, and we've spent some time in one of our trainings and dipping into this beautiful healing field of what's called family constellations. And it's really powerful work. All of us belong to a family system. And I think what we really see, having spent some time in this deep field of families, is that because we're in a family system, each of us, sometimes we carry things that don't belong to us. If you've ever had that sense that there's something on your heart, or a repetitive behavior, or a pattern, or something in your life that's beyond your own effort and beyond your own being in a certain sense. Families are a place where life is supposed to happen, and life does happen. We're here because of our families. And I do mean our family of origin, mom, dad, all those generations that came before us. And along with that comes the pain and wounding and sorrows and difficulties of our families' histories, and sometimes that lands on us. And it can kind of show up in four places. A family is a place where we should belong, where everyone gets to belong. And sometimes it feels like we don't belong in our families. So there's sometimes issues of belonging in a family. Sometimes there's issues of what we call differentiation, where we lose the sense of I'm me and you're you. Right? Or I'm not my dad, I'm not my mom, I'm my role and you're your role. Sometimes we get blended together, Sometimes there's questions of ordering, like we feel out of place in our family, or who came first, who came second. There's different areas of responsibility and different fates, so to speak, in family members. And we want to allow each person to have their own journey. We might say it that way, right? We want our journey, and we want to allow everyone to have their journey. When that gets entangled, we can carry that weight with us. And then sometimes it's a question of honoring. We've seen this a lot, and I'm thinking back on some of the constellations that we just witnessed here. There's pain in families when people are not honored. Maybe you even know in your family a cousin, an uncle, the black sheep of the family, the odd one out, someone who died young, someone who doesn't belong, right? Who's not honored in their family. And maybe it's your parents, maybe it's the matriarch, the patriarch, whoever came earlier, the people who gave us life and created the space for us to be here. There's a kind of honoring that needs to exist in families in all directions, that you get to be honored as a member of your family, and everyone else gets to be honored for the role that they play. And so when any of those areas are off, boy, there's suffering, And so sharing that with you, because this space of family constellations is something that Britt and I really love to do. We're trained in this. It's a juicy space, and we're going to have a weekend in November this year called Everyone Belongs, and it's a weekend dedicated to family healing. And many dynamics will be there, all kinds of ways we're going to look at how to bring healing to our family, but one of the primary ways is going to be through this beautiful modality of family constellations, where miracles happen routinely. So if this speaks to you, if it feels like there's a need on your heart, or a discontent, or you just want to be a stand for grace in your family, it's a powerful transformational space. And you may say, well, how does that work? You don't have to worry about how it works. It's a beautiful healing space. You just bring yourself and wanting to be a stand for healing for you and for your family. So we love it. We're swimming in those waters. We want to share them with you. It's called Everyone Belongs. And maybe you belong there at this weekend. If you do, please join us. We hope to see you there.